Hello, America, and to our friends around the world, welcome to the Common Sense Show. We are the show freeing America one enslaved mind at a time. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to make a bombshell revelation here, and I think there's a good chance this is true. I'm just going to throw the facts out there and let you respond to them. And you probably have heard the headline without any of the underlying justifications. Things are getting very serious in this war. Very serious. What I'm going to tell you will explain why the fleet has backed off hundreds of kilometers. What I'm going to tell you is why there's high-level meetings, closed door in the Pentagon, no press. Why the cabinet has been pulled into emergency contingency meetings. This is huge. In the meantime, you got to protect your assets. In these volatile times, let me take you to the homepage, part of the homepage of our sponsor for this particular program, and it's Noble Gold. And these are people that endorse Noble Gold. You've heard me endorse them for years, 9 years to be exact. Look at Kevin Sorbo. I don't gamble with my future. I partner with Noble Gold. And then you've got Seth Holthouse. I don't take chances when it comes to my family's future. That's why I invest in precious metals only with Noble Gold. Me too. Dave Rubin, Noble Gold makes investing easy and simple. It's real, tangible, it's yours. These are three guys who I have a lot of respect for. And they're telling you the same thing I've been saying for years. Okay. And if you look up here, this is why I do what I do with Noble Gold. Gold has historically retained its value during inflation, recessions, political instability, acts as a safety net, and your portfolio when traded assets underperform. Oh, that's such a nice way of saying the economy could be falling apart, which I believe it is. Noble Gold, it's there for you. And by the way, if you do a qualified conversion, like don't leave your retirement accounts in the bank, they can take it. Noble Gold will convert it and put it under your ownership and back it with precious metals, an appreciating asset, not a failing dollar backing it. And you say, that sounds pretty good. Yeah. And by the way, qualified accounts will get 1/10 gold ounce coin. Pretty cool, huh? Here's the number right here, 877-646-5347, 877-646-5347. Tell them Dave Hodges told you to call with the highest recommendation. You heard me say the fleet has been pulled back. You heard me talk about these emergency meetings. 14 months ago, I was told Iran had 4 nuclear weapons. Good source, but the only source. And I couldn't fact check it. I couldn't. So I left it alone. You never heard me mention it. Um, One of the reasons I was fearful of going into Iran is I thought they would detonate. I didn't mention that before, but today has allowed me to step out on the ledge with some rationale behind what I know to be true. Or let me put it this way, strongly suspect to be true. I didn't want to look like a raving lunatic and alarm the public unnecessarily without real data. Well, the Iranians, number one, provided us with the concern. Now, you say well, they might not be telling the truth, and you could be right. But there's other mitigating factors I'm going to bring into this. But let's start with the statement that's on mainstream media. I asked my sister-in-law, she watches a lot of Fox News. Okay. And I asked, I said, they're not seemingly reporting what the new leader in Iran is telling people. Now, we have nuclear weapons and you better watch out. Yeah. She said, well, actually, they did report that. Oh, okay, good. And I asked her a couple of follow-up questions. Did they report the IAEA? No. Did they report the JPOA? No. Okay, well, I'm going to report that to you. First of all, Iran was under investigative sanctions since 2018 or before 2018. In 2018, they said, we're not doing this anymore. And they kicked the investigators out. The people like Scott Ritter. Remember, Scott, I'm not saying he was kicked out, but Scott Ritter, who did the 1991 to 1998 review of weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. That's Scott Ritter, who's totally opposed to this war. Okay, here's what we know. The IAEA said they have belief that there's a lot of nuclear enrichment in Iran, and they believe there was enough components there to make four nuclear weapons. There also was an anomalous explosion underground that they couldn't explain. Some people think they tested it on a minor scale. The JPOA comes to the same conclusions, and they said they were acquiring starter parts, mechanisms for trigger, and vehicles for delivery. Does Iran have four nuclear weapons? I can't answer that with 100% certainty. But when you go back and you look at the agencies that were trying to stop and certainly limit Iran's ability to get nuclear weapons and what they said, I think we need to be concerned based now on what the leader of Iran says. He says he has the weapons. Okay, well, that explains the fleet retreat. That explains the secret meetings. I don't think Pam Bondi has anything to do with this. Her deal's Epstein strictly. But these other issues, I think we need to be very, very concerned. And this, by the way, the European leaders are having emergency meetings too. This is very serious. I reported yesterday that Trump was talking to Putin, and this was a potential resolution to the war, and maybe Trump could get Putin to convince Iran, okay, let's reach an agreement. Okay, well, I hope that that would happen. I look at this now and say, I don't think Trump was meeting with Putin for resolution. I think he was telling him, we might have to use nuclear weapons. We don't want you to overreact. If he has a similar meeting with Xi Jinping, I think that's part and parcel. I got to tell you, Netanyahu's not feeling safe. His secret bunkers has now been revealed because of the destruction was taken out last night. That's why he's in the air all the time. If it goes nuclear, I fear for the people of Israel. And despite the fact that I'm not a Netanyahu fan, that doesn't make me anti-Semitic. I fear for the people of Israel. I want Israel to survive. And I'm fearful. And they're in much more danger than the United States. Was this a justification for war? I think it could be a trigger event for Iranian nuclear attack if they have the capability. But right now, with that statement made and the U.S. defensive reaction and all the secret meetings, don't you think we'd be well advised to take this seriously? I don't know that we're going to get any more hints, but I think we have enough hints to say someone is taking this new Ayatollah very seriously. Tell me what you think. Look forward to hearing your comments. I hope it's not true. Let's hope the leader of Iran is lying through his teeth, but I'm not so sure. I'm Dave Hodges. This is the Common Sense Show.